Hey, welcome back to another update of my Canadian dividend investing portfolio series. It's been a little while since I've been here, and if you're new to the channel, what I do is I'm just a Canadian investor documenting my journey as a dividend investor, buying pretty much all my stocks on the Toronto Stock Exchange and using Wealthsimple Trade to buy and sell stocks and tracking everything in this custom Google Sheet that I made. And there are links in the description below for all of those things if you would like to try them out. So at the moment, let's just run through my kind of summary here, and then we'll get into which stocks I want to buy. I'm going to buy the stocks and talk a little bit about that, and then update the spreadsheet so you can see what it's like to track your own stocks with a sheet like this one. So my account balance is sitting around $73,813. That's the stock value. I actually have about $244 in cash that I'm going to be spending in just a second. But we're down $692, about 1% overall, which, given how things have been in the stock market lately, is not bad at all. And I'm not too worried about that because $692, if the markets just went flat for the next 2 months, basically, or 3 months, I would make that all back in dividends alone. But if the stock price goes up of my individual holdings, that will help me as well. But basically, I'm looking at a value here of $3,255 per year in passive income from all my dividends. And at the end of the video, I'm going to come back to this number and show you how much it increases after I buy $244 worth of more dividend paying stocks. And you're going to see how the passive income that I generate is slowly growing all the time. So yeah, let's just jump into it. I guess we can take a look here. I don't know. These are all my dividends for every month since I started almost 2 years ago, and you can see that they're definitely increasing all the time. Primarily, they're increasing because I'm depositing more and more money and buying more and more stocks, but I'm also reinvesting all these dividends. Like every month when I get this amount of money, like for example, January of 2022, I got $317. I reinvested all of that back into more dividend paying stocks. So actually today when I'm buying stocks, I have $244.50. But I recently deposited $200, and the other $44.50 is a little bit of change left over from last time and a couple of dividends that I have recently received. So we can actually maybe take a look here, like at my deposits. Like I just put in $200 today, and I have already logged that. And if we come into the dividends tab, which is just a master list of all of the dividends that I have, and scroll down to the bottom, we can see all of the recent dividends that I have logged. I get these in my broker in Wealthsimple Trade, and then I just type them in here as they come. But you can see here a lot of dividends rolling in June, and so far none in July yet, but those will be coming in pretty shortly. So let's go to the portfolio tab and take a look at each of my individual positions. Right now I have it sorted here in column L for the biggest winners at the top and the losers at the bottom. As we go down, we can see that we get some pretty giant double-digit negatives down here. But we got some pretty decent gains up here as well. And these are just on the individual positions. And in a way, it doesn't matter. It's kind of nice to see each individual position in the green, because then you can feel good about having that position. But for me personally, the number that really matters is the overall account. So here I'm just down about 1% overall. But when you come in here and you look at some of these numbers like double-digit losses, you might freak out. But you got to remember that I have bought and sold stocks in the past for a gain. I have received a whole bunch of dividends, and that all pretty much nets out to not such a scary situation that you see in here. And actually, I made a column over here where you can see, so this is the unrealized gain loss. Like this is what your broker would report to you, and this is purely based on the stock price alone. But if you factor in the dividends received, like in this column here, I track all of the lifetime dividends that I've received for each position. And also the spreadsheet tracks like past dividends for companies that you no longer own. But I put in this column here for all in performance, and this actually gives a different picture. For example, let's zone in on like this one, for example. What's this? Smart Centers. So my unrealized gain that my broker would report to me is negative 4.62% based on the stock price alone, but I have received a couple dividends from them. So overall, I'm up 1.91% on that position if you want to think of it that way. It's a slightly unconventional way to think about it, but it is kind of important to kind of get that perspective as well and really understand what is going on in your portfolio. And that's what I like about this sheet, is it really helps me understand more about my portfolio than just my broker alone. So when I was looking to buy stocks today, I was kind of checking which ones are in the red. This might be an indication that it's a good opportunity for me. I can reduce my average price on these ones which I like to do, but like I said, it's not totally important. I was kind of zoning in here on Bank of Nova Scotia because I noticed this is a very small position of mine. It's under 2%. I'm in the red on them, and so I do kind of think that I would like to lower my average price, and they have a good yield of almost 5.5%. And this is a Canadian bank. Like, this is a very serious business. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, and it has a strong history of growth and dividend growth. Unlike some of the smaller, sketchier companies that I own, like Cineplex or something like that, like it's kind of a random company, whereas Bank of Nova Scotia is like the real deal. So I'm pretty much looking to pick up some of these, and I was also looking in, I have a tab here, so let me just show you what's going on. I have a Sparkline tab where we can take a look here at each of the individual positions one at a time. And Bank of Nova Scotia, for example, is just here. So we can see this general upward trend and them being smashed to bits a little bit recently, and you can kind of go through each one or filter it by different durations and stuff like that. But I have another tab in here that I really like to use a lot, and it is the Extra Sparklines tab, and I just have in here all of the Sparklines together. So this sorts in the same way that whatever the portfolio is sorted. So at the moment I have the biggest winners at the top, and as we go down we get down to the biggest losers, and this really helps me kind of just understand what the general trends are in the my entire portfolio, and the general trend is like going down in the last month, but that's okay. So if I just purely look at my average cost, and what's in the red for me, that might not give the full picture because I might be down on something, but it might not actually be a good buy. Whereas in here, I can kind of just cruise around and just get an idea like, okay, everything's going down. So even if something is in the green for me, it might still be a good buy based on its kind of all-time chart. So I'm going to find if I can locate TELUS in here. TELUS is a position that I'm in the green on. If we go actually back to the portfolio tab, TELUS is right here. So I'm up 4% on my whole position with them. So I'm not going to be reducing my average price if I buy them today. But let's go back to the Extra Sparklines. But they have a really nice growth and is a super strong company as well, not going anywhere. This is pretty much like essentially tied to like the population of Canada, because everyone's buying phones and stuff and internet, and the population's going up. So I'm not worried about this one like disappearing anytime soon. If I want to see a massive drop off like this, yeah, it might continue, but for now I still think it's a good buy because I was buying around here and I felt good about it, and it's basically the same price. So TELUS is something I'm going to be picking up, and if there's any money left over, I'm not sure. I might just drop it into something small like PMZ or whatever, just because they have a nice dividend, but they're not such a strong company. So let's go into Wealthsimple Trade and buy these stocks, I guess. So yep, here's the up account. We can actually get a quick scan in here of what's been going on in the last day. Up $800 in the last day. Nice. That's cool. That's definitely more than I earn when I work. But this goes up and down all the time. So I don't even care about that really. It just bounces all the time. Usually it's in the negative, like here, down 600 in the last week, down 5,000 in the last month. Like that sucks. That's definitely more than I earn as well. So like you just got to kind of ignore this, down 12% in the last 3 months. Holy moly. This is nothing new. Like anyone who's been in the stock market lately has been seeing these kind of numbers. And for me, like I said, I'm receiving dividends, and I'm focusing on the long-term growth of my portfolio and increasing the dividend income. And overall, yeah, I'm not concerned. So anyways, we're gonna just go in and search for what was it? Bank of Nova Scotia. That was the one I wanted to pick up. Let's check out these guys. So they're up a little bit. No, sorry, they're down a little bit in the last day. Nice, cool. Again, just get a little bit of their chart. They're down 15%. So this is a great time to be buying this company, I think. If they continue dropping, I'm going to buy more. That's all right. So for these guys, we're just going to go here and buy. Okay, I should put in the quantity. I think I'm going to buy 3. And let's see if I have enough money left over for TELUS. I don't think I will, actually. That's fine. I think I'm just going to put in 3 right now, and then maybe on Friday or something like that, I'll pick up more TELUS. So let's just go with 3, because this is such a small position of mine. I would really like to grow it. So we're going to confirm that order. The tax-free savings account, cool. Get done. And let's see what I have left for my cash. Let's see if I can go into TELUS. And I don't think I'm going to have enough. Yeah, so they're $28 and I have like 18, and I'm not interested in doing a fractional buy for this kind of company. I try to stay away from fractional buys. I don't know, I just don't really like them. I would rather just save up until I have enough for that company and then just go with that. So I think I'll just see if I can maybe get one PMZ. Oh man, up 2% in the last day. Okay, cool. No big deal. Yeah, I have enough for these guys, so I'm just going to drop in one share. They have a very high dividend yield, and let's go with that. We're going to hit buy on PMZ and drop that into the tax-free savings account. Okay, so once I do that, what I need to do is I come up to my activity tab, and I just want to double check like the quantity and the unit price of the shares that I just bought. And I want to take note of that and bring it back into the spreadsheet. And specifically, I'm going to be typing it into the transactions tab. This is a master list of all of the transactions that I've done. So I'm just going to scroll down to the bottom here, maybe all the way to the bottom, and just drop in these two transactions. So I had TSE, maybe so you can see, I'll just bring that up a bit higher. TSE, what was that, Bank of Nova Scotia, and TSE PMZ.UN. So today is July 4th for both of these, and I bought 3 of Bank of Nova Scotia, 1 of PMZ. Bank of Nova Scotia was $75.30 per share, and PMZ was $12.53 per share. Now I didn't pay any trading fees, so I'm just going to copy these values down. And that is definitely something nice about using Wealthsimple Trade, is you don't pay for each trade, so you can buy one share at a time. Imagine if you're paying a $5 trading fee on a $12 stock. It makes absolutely no sense. But with Wealthsimple Trade, it's an awesome option for Canadian investors to be using to make small transactions. And let's be honest, not everyone has like crap loads of money to you would need to like, if your trading fees were like $10, and you bought $1,000 in one transaction, you're still paying like 1% fee, which is kind of annoying. Like if you're going for a stock that yields like 4%, it's still going to take you a quarter of the year just to get that back to cover the cost of the trading fee in such a high value transaction. And that's something great about Wealthsimple. You can just buy one share and like no one cares. It's fine. So I really like Wealthsimple for that. But anyways, yeah, let's take a look here at the summary. And if you remember at the beginning of the video, the annual dividend income that I was expecting was about $3,255, and now we're sitting around $3,268. So that's an increase of about $13 per year. And yeah, that may be a lot, that may be a little, it depends on your perspective. But for me, every time I buy stocks and reinvest, using some of my own money and some of the dividends that I got, like today, like I said, 200 of those dollars were mine that I deposited, and the other 40 were from dividends. And yeah, it's just growing all the time. This number is always growing, and then when I keep growing that number, that's why you keep seeing each individual month slowly growing over time. And especially by reinvesting those dividends, we're getting that compounding effect, and hopefully in many years, like 10, 20, 30 years from now, this number will be very high and sufficient for me to live off of or do something with, instead of reinvesting it and eventually start drawing it out and using it to pay for my things without touching the principal. So guys, that's all I got for you today. Hope you found this video interesting. If you want to try out the spreadsheet, there is a link in the description below. And if you are currently using the spreadsheet and if you're having any issues at all, make sure you send me an email. My email is in the welcome tab. And I'm always happy to help everyone get through any sort of issues, because I know Google Sheets can be a little bit daunting for people who are not really so used to spreadsheets, but I'm always around. So guys, with that said, I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you in my emails, and have a great day.